In this video, I will talk about what it takes to go from point A to point B. I will talk about what it takes to go from this particular level where you are to your next level and the true and hidden cost of greatness. This is something you don't want to miss. Dimitri, let's get right into it. A few years ago, the University of Scranton published a study that revealed that only 8% of adults arrive at a place where they have achieved their goals. Which means that a staggering 92% of adults out there are simply walking around with a sense of not knowing what the purpose, the assignment was, and keep going through the motion and knowing deep inside that, yes, we have actually failed because we have never realized what the mission was and we have never taken the steps to making anything happen. Of course, as you can see, this can be quite devastating, not only for these individuals, but also for the economies, for the countries where these people actually happen to live. Why? Because it takes people to move the economy. It takes people to move a country. It takes people to help elevate the prestige of a nation. And so it takes definitely a right mindset to get people to start paying attention to the goals and finding a way to self-actualize. Having said that, it is also important to know that yes, in order for you to level up, you have to come to a place where, number one, you identify exactly what you want to achieve, and number two, identify the fact that yes, where I am right now, the skills I have right now, the behaviors I'm exhibiting right now are not conducive or consistent with the type of lifestyle I would like to reach. So I need to go to a place that's going to help me unlearn what I know and go to a new place where I'm going to learn new behaviors, learn new traits, learn new skills, and level up. But most people, the reason why they don't want to go from point A to point B or to go from where they are, the circle of influence, to the next circle is because simply wherever they are right now, they feel like, yes, I'm the big fish in the pond. At least I'm one of the big ones. So why would I leave my comfort zone and go to a place where I'm going to have to start the very bottom again? And I can see the point. But guess what? It is the price that you have to pay. You have to leave your comfort zone and go to a place that's going to help you unlearn the skill that you have acquired so far, unlearn the behavior that you have acquired so far, and unlearn how you see yourself to start seeing yourself through a different set of eyes. But when you get there, of course, you're going to come to a place where all of a sudden you're going to start feeling this small. Why? Because all of a sudden you're going to be working with people, chances are, who make in a day what you make in a year. And some of them are quite younger than you. And some of them know less than you. You have more knowledge than them. But what happens is when you pay close attention, they have more practical understanding of the knowledge that you have. So you have to go to these people and learn from them. And as you start learning from them, all of a sudden you realize that yes, I used to think that I was the big cat. I used to think I was the big fish. But all of a sudden I'm feeling like very insignificant. But guess what? You have to stay there. You have to simply keep showing up. You have to put in the time, because you know what? At every level, you're going to meet a master. You're going to meet an accomplished great man or woman who at one point in your life was also a rookie, was also exactly where you are right now. So if you look past certain things, certain trophies, certain accolades, certain skills, certain results they are getting that cause you to feel actually small, you're going to realize that yes, everyone is actually on a journey. They may be ahead of me, a couple of steps ahead of me, they may be 100 steps ahead of me, but they once were also where exactly I am. So I have to stay put and simply put in the time. Yeah, let me just give you a quick story, and I'm going to give you more specific when it comes to how to actually stay plugged in, and until you start seeing the result, they're going to give you the shift and momentum you need when it comes to your business idea or when it comes to your professional journey. On June 6, 1945, at exactly 8:30 p.m. in Philadelphia, America, something big happened. A group of young musicians who had recently moved from High Point, North Carolina, to Philadelphia in the north, were there to attend a concert that was meant to feature the great and mighty Dizzy Gillespie. But unbeknownst to them, there was also a young artist that was going to be given a time to do a solo during this concert. So as these young artists get into the venue, they settle down, the concert starts. At one point, Dizzy Gillespie simply does what he knew how to do best. He calls upon his new protege and simply says, yeah, now the stage is yours. Do what you do best. He started playing the saxophone, and all the people in attendance, especially the musically inclined people, such as the young people from High Point, were completely mesmerized. Why? Because they had never seen anything close to this level of mastery. All of a sudden, they started feeling small and completely, yes, out of place, uncomfortable. But they stayed put. At the end of the concert, they went to introduce themselves to this new protege. His name was Charlie Bird Parker. And amongst the new people that were completely in awe of his performance was a young man that the book of history will come to know as John William Coltrane, otherwise John Coltrane. John Coltrane was completely mesmerized by the mastery that Charlie Bird Parker had reached when it comes to playing the sax. And one thing led to another. He learned that in order for him to reach that particular level, this gentleman, Charlie Bird Parker, was putting insane amount of hours, or put insane amount of hours to actually reach this particular level. So John Coltrane went home and simply said, yes, I'm going to keep showing up when it comes to all these places where I'm learning to simply master this instrument. But on my spare time, I'm also going to be going to the library, different places, to simply find ways to fine-tune my knowledge as far as this thing is concerned. And more specifically, I fine-tune all the practical application I need to have when it comes to how to play this thing better. Eventually, by the 1960, he had made a name for himself. And by the time he passed in 1967, he left a huge library of music, simply because he was willing to pay the price of greatness. He was willing to be a beginner. He was willing to be a rookie. He was willing to learn from people who sometimes were even slightly younger than him, such as Miles Davis, who was actually his boss at one point in the early 1950s. And Miles Davis simply was a boss because he had already published an album. He was already known. And John Coltrane at the time was simply unknown, so he had to pay the price of simply learning from a younger fellow about the craft, because that was the only way as far as greatness is concerned. At times, it felt like a soul-crushing event. At times, it felt like a soul-crushing experience, but in the end, he paid some significant dividend when it comes to his legacy. Now, back to you. As far as mastering your craft is concerned, as far as achieving greatness is concerned, you have to simply know what you want. You have to be willing to live wherever you are and to go to the next level, where you're going to be made to feel small. You may have come from a place where you were a big team, but you're going to go now to a place where you are going to be nobody. As a matter of fact, when John Coltrane left High Point, he was voted in high school the most musical student as far as his high school was concerned. But by the time he reached Philadelphia, he was realized that he was just a small fish in a big pond. There were much bigger cats as far as music was concerned, such as Charlie Bird Parker and Miles Davis. So he had to learn from the very beginning and be a rookie again. So again, you have to identify what exactly you want to achieve. You have to identify the skill that you need now to acquire, the behavior you need to unlearn, and the new one you need to actually also learn. Once you do that, then you have to start moving toward a new circle, a new environment that are going out to help you unlearn what you knew, and now learning new behavior, learning new traits, learning new skills, and learning new way of seeing yourself as far as your avatar is concerned. Number two, but as you go there, you're gonna be feeling small because that's just the name of the game. But as you're eating this pie of humility, you simply have to remain plugged in and put in the time, put in the work that's supposed to be required of you. Why? Because if you stay plugged in, and more specifically, and you stay there with pen and paper, taking note as far as your progress is concerned, taking note as far as what you're actually hearing, as far as what your mentors are teaching you, and what you are seeing that's not actually being verbalized, you're gonna come to a point where you're gonna build now your own library of knowledge, practical knowledge that's going now to turn you into the master you're going to eventually become. But you have to stay plugged in with pen and paper, know what you want, pay the price, accept to be seen as a small fish in the pond, accept to be seen as the rookie who basically doesn't know much about the industry. But if you stay plugging, that's how eventually what you see now as a potential is now going to blossom and give birth to a mighty tree that's going now to give the type of oxygen that other people around you also need when it comes to how to breathe to the next level is concerned. All right, I'm going to stop right here. Before I go, just a reminder, you are perfection made flesh, but now for that perfection to be manifesting, you have to be intentional. Level up. Go to places where you're going to actually learn new skill, learn new behavior, learn new ways of actually seeing yourself. Because as I keep saying for the past few days, you don't see the world as it is, but you see the world as you are. And until you learn to upgrade the filters to which you look at yourself, you're always going to be seeing the wrong things, seeing the wrong opportunities, and seeing the wrong outcome as far as your life is concerned. And until you're going to learn how to move to the next level, what's going to happen? You're still going to remain amongst 92% of adults who never self-actualize and will go to the grave with all the dreams and all the potential that was supposed to be buried somewhere in order to now to give birth to a tree that would then give a place from which the younger generation coming after us are simply going now to be standing and simply see, yes, we're now standing on the shoulders of those who have paid the price for us. All right, much love everyone. I'm out. Take good care.